Hello students, this is Neeta Biju. Welcome again to another class of business studies. In today's class, we'll be studying about the very important topic, that is principles of scientific management. So when we are talking about principles of scientific management, what comes at once to our mind is Mr. Frederick Winslow Taylor, who is widely known as F.W. Taylor. He was an American mechanical engineer who sought to improve industrial efficiency. He is regarded as the father of scientific management and was one of the first management consultants. So keep in mind, dear students, he is the person, Mr. F.W. Taylor, very popularly known as. He is a management father of scientific principles. So when a question is asked, who is the father of scientific management, you have to answer Frederick Winslow Taylor. So he was a mechanical engineer and a management consultant. He believed purely in scientific management. He did lots of studies and research, wrote a number of books about it. In simple words, it means applying science at work. So scientific management is also known as Taylorism. It is named after him. His major contributions were publishing of shop management, piece rate system, and principles of scientific management. So in today's class, we'll be studying the principles developed by him, that is the scientific principles of management. We have basically 4 principles of scientific management. The first one, science, not rule of thumb. Second one, harmony, not discord. The third one, cooperation, not individualism. The fourth one, development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. So these are the 4 scientific principles of management developed by F.W. Taylor. So we shall study this one by one. The first principle, science, not rule of thumb. So according to this principle, Taylor insists that each job performed in the organization should be based on scientific inquiry and not on intuition or experience and hit and miss methods. He says that there must be some thinking before doing, which is not in case of rule of thumb. So according to this principle, Taylor says whatever work takes place or whatever task is done in an organization, it should be based not on any imagination or intuition. It should be performed purely based on scientific methods and analysis. So when we are talking about scientific point of view, everything is based on science. Try to understand the cause and analyze the effect. So think before doing. Think and analyze before performing the task. In simple words, apply logic. So there should be a reason behind every performance. Then when we are talking about rule of thumb is generally accepted guidelines or methods of doing something on past practices rather than facts or logical thinking. In other words, rule of thumb means application of traditional methods based on past experiences of managers, or in simple words, it can also be called as dictatorship of managers, which should be avoided. So when we are talking about rule of thumb, it is, in simple words, it is called as dictatorship of managers, in the sense without applying any logic, without analyzing cause and effect, without applying science. When there is whatever command or whatever order is given by a manager, it should be followed by everybody, and that is what is called as rule of thumb. So this should be avoided. This was told by F.W. Taylor, which should be totally avoided because it's not healthy or good for an organization. So according to Taylor, every organization has to apply scientific methods or tools and analysis and decide accordingly. So science, not rule of thumb, means apply science in everything what we do in an organization rather than simply doing the traditional methods. The second principle of scientific management is harmony, not discord. So here basically F.W. Taylor always focused on factory system and its efficiency. So when we are talking about factory system, it is always based on production. So factory system of production implied that managers served as a link between the owners and the workers. And so that's why there always existed the possibility of a kind of class conflict between the managers and the workers. So Taylor recognized that this conflict was not good. It didn't help anybody. It neither helped the workers nor the managers nor the factory owners. So that is why he emphasized, or he focused, that there should be complete harmony between the management and the workers. Both should realize that they are important to each other. So according to this principle of F.W. Taylor, managers serve as a bridge. They connect. They are the link between the owners of the factory or the business and the workers of the factory or the business. And in this process of when the managers try to get the work done from the workers, there are possibilities that there may arise certain misunderstanding, or they may arise certain conflicts between the workers and the managers. So according to Taylor, there should be complete harmony, because it wasn't good. He found out that such conflicts, such misunderstanding is not good for an organization. So both should realize, that is, the managers as well as workers, both should realize that both are important for the organization, both are important for each other, so that there will be a healthy atmosphere in the organization. Both should go together, work together, and should work hard for achieving the objectives of the organization together. There should be a good bonding between each other. That is what Taylor believed in. Harmony, not discord. There should be good harmony among the workers and the management, and not discord means no misunderstanding, no conflict should be there for a healthy atmosphere in the organization. The next scientific principle according to Taylor is cooperation, not individualism. So this principle is just the extension of harmony, not discord. According to this principle, work must be carried on in cooperation with each other, with mutual confidence and understanding for each other. Workers and managers must work in cooperation. To have cooperation, management should also welcome good suggestions of employees or workers, and they should be rewarded for their suggestions. So according to this principle, Taylor focuses on the extension. He says this is just the extension of harmony, not discord. So managers should see to it that workers are taken into confidence. Their suggestions, their opinions should be taken into consideration for any important decision making, so that workers may feel belongingness, they are motivated, their morale is increased, they are consulted, and at the same time they should be also rewarded and appreciated for the good suggestions. If at all their suggestions are working out for the benefit of the organization, they should be appreciated and rewarded by the managers. And at the same time, workers should also cooperate with the managers. They should not go for unnecessary and silly strikes for irrelevant reasons. So managers and workers should work together, and managers should see that the jobs are assigned to the workers according to the interest of the workers and what they are good at and what they are specialized in. So this is what is just the extension of harmony, not discord. Cooperation, not individualism, means everybody should work in a team, everybody should work together, everybody should work unitedly and not individually. That is what is the meaning of this principle according to Taylor: cooperation, not individualism. We have our next principle of scientific management, that is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. So according to this, F.W. Taylor is always focusing, and he always highlighted and he gave importance to industrial and factory efficiency. So industrial efficiency depends upon the efficiency of workers. Workers' efficiency depends upon the proper training and their selection. Employees must be sent for training from time to time to update their knowledge and skills. This will ensure greatest efficiency and prosperity for both company as well as the workers. So industrial efficiency, according to Taylor, is very much dependent on the efficiency and hard work of the workers as well. So this will depend on the proper selection of the workers. First of all, when the right person is selected for the right job, and when the right person is placed at the right place according to his or her right qualification and education, then only it's going to work. So when once the right person is selected according to scientific methods. So selection should be done according to scientific methods, according to their qualification, and once they are placed at the right place, they should be given good training so that they can update themselves, they can increase their skill and knowledge and keep themselves updated. So this in turn will surely and definitely benefit the organization to a large extent. So according to Taylor, what he meant is nothing but, if at all managers focus on the efficiency and prosperity of individual worker, it is going to contribute towards the development and prosperity of the business and the organization and the factory or industry as well. So instead of just focusing or highlighting or only paying attention for the to the objective of organization, management should also think about the efficiency and prosperity of the workers as well, because efficiency of workers will in turn benefit to a large extent for the benefit of the organization. So in conclusion, the Scientific Principles of Management by Frederick Winslow Taylor suggests conducting business activities according to scientific methods and trained personnel in order to increase the output and improve its quality and reduce cost and wastages. So according to F.W. Taylor, every business, every organization should conduct business according to scientific method. Scientific method means apply science, cause and effect, apply some reason, apply some logic behind whatever task is being performed. And even scientific methods of selection should be used. Scientific training should be provided to the workers so that they can increase their efficiency and output of the industry will be more, improve in quality will take place, and at the same time maximum utilization of resources will take place at the right time with efficiency and effectiveness, and it will reduce the cost and wastages of the organization. This is what is all about today's class, dear students. Thank you.